Hello my friend and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki and today we will have a look at the upcoming year of 2026. And I know probably everybody says that, but I can't believe it's already the mid of December and it's already going towards the next year. But yeah, I'm very excited to look into what will be coming up for you. And today we have a lot to cover. We will look into the overall energies of the new year. We will have a look at what's coming up in career, finances and home. Also what is happening with your personal and spiritual growth. We will have a look at relationships and of course which kind of blessings are coming in for you in the next year. And we will then finish up with some advice from your spirit guides. So as you can see, I've shuffled out 3 cards for you again, and we have card number 1, Uruz, card number 2, Othala, and card number 3, Perthro. So as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below. I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello again and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Uruz, and it says strength. So right away I am getting that the upcoming year will either be about developing more strength or you will have a very strong start into the year because you already developed some strength this year, or it could be also possibly both. What I also like about this card is the goddess here is decorated with those patches of moss and little mushrooms growing out of the moss. So that also gives me a sense of synergy and connectedness because, of course, the mycel of the mushrooms grows underneath and connects to trees in a symbiotic nature. And the moss also can help the entire ecosystem by retaining a lot of moisture for other plants then to grow better. And maybe if you're interested in that, really look into the ecosystem of the forest. It's quite complex, and even though sometimes it's described as the trees competing for light or the plants competing for light, really a lot of plants really support each other and form symbiosis with each other and also the animals of the forest. So I don't know how this will tie into your next year, but I got a strong sense of mentioning the symbiosis and mutual support of a ecosystem and being part of that ecosystem and having connections and maybe finding strength in community. That could be an important theme coming up for you. But let's get some more cards to see what the overall energies of this next year will be like. And I love those cards, but they're so difficult to shuffle. Anyway, this card is sticking out. The Creator, very beautiful, this colorful card. And the first thing I'm getting, the next year will be very colorful. There will be a lot of different opportunities and adventures to explore, I'm hearing. And you are the creator. You can choose which of all those opportunities you want to take up and what you want to make out of those opportunities. Yeah, you're already off to a strong start. And from both of those cards, I'm already getting a sense that it will be a year for you of both personal growth, but also somehow getting more connected, reaching out more, exploring new areas of life, connecting to new people, maybe building a community or building a group of friends or building a family. And we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, definitely something about balancing two aspects. Five of Cups. Moving on from hardship, yes. And the Star. Very beautiful. So this is the year where wishes you've maybe held for a long time will be fulfilled, and where you will be able to move on from grief and hardship and sorrow, maybe feeling depressed or hopeless. And I'm also getting a strong sense that the reason why you will be able to move on from that is that you have done a lot of inner work. You've built that inner strength. You've followed your path with diligence and endurance and determination. And now you are reaping the rewards of what you have built. And you will be able to balance out your own personal life, and as I mentioned before, also going out into the world more. You will be able to balance out your inner world and your outer world. And of course, the Two of Wands, it can also speak of a portal opening up for you, a door opening up for you, you moving on to a higher level of being. And especially with the Star on the other side, you are moving up and on from whatever those dark energies were. So yeah, very beautiful energies already, but let's have a look at your career, finances, and home in 2026. And I'm putting those three together because everybody has finances, but not all of us have a career. Maybe you're studying or you are a homemaker. So I'm putting these three together, career, finances, and home. And it says, mildew fairy, clean up time. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense with those cards, because maybe you've been on a journey where you had to do a lot of inner work or a lot of emotional work, or you were just in a very sad space where you couldn't do a lot at all. And now I think before you can start something new, you have to clean up and declutter and really reflect on what you want to keep moving forward and what you don't want to keep. Because you want to make sure that you don't get stuck on those old things, and that you don't get stuck on those difficult emotions maybe, or difficult situations. And you have to be careful that you don't carry these forward. So I think you will probably start a new career or a new way to manage your finances, maybe even move to a new place or make improvements to your old place. I am seeing and feeling a change of lifestyle coming for you, because also with those fairy wings, they remind me of butterfly wings, and of course butterflies stand for transformation. So I think there's some transformations going on in that area of your life. But you have to make time to clean up and declutter first. 6 of Cups. And 8 of Coins. So I feel those changes might require a bit of work, and maybe even a bit more emotional work. Because look at her, she is crying while she is working. So you are definitely moving out of this energy, out of the sad energy, but it might be might require some more work, and then you can take flight like the swans, and then you will have purified your energy and lifted up your energy, and you will be able to rise up into a new and higher frequency. And also with the Six of Cups, I think maybe it's about, because that's what the Six of Cups can speak about in general, healing the inner child. So maybe that is a healing that you still have to do. But I find it very interesting because in this depiction it looks like they are neighbors. So maybe your relationships with your neighbors will improve, or your friend will help you with upgrading your house or your living situation, or maybe you will meet someone new. Of course, we will do a whole section about relationships later, but maybe this could already be a hint that you're moving in with someone or meeting someone new that you connect strongly with. And also, of course, that overall your living situation, I'm getting that very strongly, will improve this year. Yeah, very beautiful. So let's have a look at your spiritual and personal growth in the upcoming year. And we have Lady with a Bosch Egg, Ancient Wisdom. So you are unlocking your inner wisdom, maybe connecting to a spiritual tradition or a wisdom tradition, or learning new skills. Or maybe you have already learned new skills and will put them to use now, integrate them into your life now. Something like that, but let's get some more cards to see what else about your spiritual and personal growth. Queen of Cups. Yeah, more about inner healing. And King of Coins. Yeah, with those two cards again, I'm getting a confirmation that you're raising your energy. You will feel like the queen or king of your own life. And you will have skills and knowledge that will allow you to support yourself both emotionally, but also in terms of stability in your life. Like as we mentioned before, you will be able to improve your living situation. And I think the way you will do it has to do with having learned something. Either having learned something just through processing your emotions, maybe going through a difficult time. And of course, difficult times, even though they're very unpleasant, usually they can be a catalyst for great healing and great learning and integrating life lessons, so to speak, and gaining life wisdom. So I think that's what you have done and what you will also continue to do into the next year. But I feel that at least in the second half of the next year, it will be more about applying the wisdom that you've already learned, applying the life lessons that you've already learned, and really stepping into your authority over your own life, into your sovereignty. And with the Queen of Cups, I'm also getting that your beauty will be increasing. So part of your personal growth is probably some sort of glow up, or just feeling more confident in your own skin and thereby becoming more beautiful and radiant, and also more balanced in your emotions. Finding ways to have your emotions support you instead of feeling that your emotions are destabilizing you. Because with this world turtle, I'm getting a very strong sense of stability, and also this tree growing up with those strong roots. Yeah, more about this forest imagery of of growing strong roots, settling maybe in a place, settling maybe in a community, having stronger connections both to yourself and others, and gaining stability from that. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving your reading. I'm getting such sort of feelings of being very content, very peaceful, very balanced, very stable, lots of equilibrium, things balancing out, things becoming more quiet in a positive way, more peaceful. And your heart growing a bit softer and opening a bit more to the beauty of life. That's, really beautiful. But let's keep on moving and have a look at what is new in relationships in 2026. And it says, the mirror. Now that thyself. Self-examination, seeing who you really are. And the first thing I'm hearing is seeing your own beauty. So I think, as we mentioned with this before, I think from all of your inner work you will have gathered this strength and radiance, and you will become more aware of your own beauty and of your own unique talents, of your own uniqueness in general. And maybe you do need to do a bit more reflection, really looking at yourself in the mirror and in the metaphorical mirror, and understanding this journey, and thereby finding closure by reflecting on it and understanding that yes, it might have been difficult, but also it was an opportunity to learn a lot and to grow and progress. And I think you're at a point in your life where maybe things have broken down before, but now you have a chance to really create something completely new for yourself, something that really feels aligned with who you are and what you want. And again, this goes so well with the cleanup time. Before you start something new, I feel you really would benefit from contemplating how you want to use this opportunity to create something better for yourself, something more aligned for yourself. And really, as I mentioned before, let go of the things that you don't want to carry forward. But we were talking about your relationships, so let's have a look. And we have 5 of Swords and 2 of Coins. Yeah, with the 5 of Swords, maybe there are even some relationships that you have to declutter, that aren't working for you anymore. Could be friendships, could be a partnership, could be work relationships or relationships with your family. I think you will have to make some decisions on how you want to connect with people. Let's just say that in general, and maybe also how you want to connect to yourself, and maybe make better relationship decisions so you don't get hurt. And of course, oftentimes when we are really hurt, the way we deal with relationships or relationships wounds sometimes can be to isolate and withdraw completely. And I think for you will be able to learn more about how to set appropriate boundaries. So you don't have to be like everything or nothing, be in contact or withdraw completely. You will be able to both open up to others, but also protect yourself when necessary. And have the relationships that feel nourishing and enjoyable to you, and let go of the relationships that feel depleting or hurting to you. And we have another 2, the Sun, the 2 of Coins. So I think it's about bringing more balance into your relationships as well. And maybe relationships with your family, with the 2 little children here. And I'm also hearing choose your family. So maybe your family or your family of origin doesn't feel very supportive, and then you will have the option, or you always have this option to have a chosen family, to have friends, or maybe a partnership that feels like family to you, or maybe reconnecting with the people in your family that you actually do feel comfortable with, or that you actually do love. So I'm not seeing too much about any new relationships coming in. I think for you this year will be more about, and of course there could be new relationships coming in, but I think for you the year will be more about re-examining existing relationships, both with yourself and with others, and making sure you make good choices around those, choosing relationships that feel nourishing and supportive and balanced also. Maybe there are some relationships in your life that feel very one-sided, and I would strongly encourage you to consider if you want to move those forward. Of course, there's always periods where maybe someone needs more support from us, or some other time we will need more support from them. I'm not talking about that, but if over the long term it's very one-sided, then maybe it's also an option at least to consider letting those people go. Okay, now let's have a look at what kind of blessings are coming in for you in 2026. Water flight. Heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. Yes, very beautiful card, how you're rising up. Again, we spoke about that before. And with those whales, I feel that you're certainly getting a lot of support, maybe from your friends, from your community, but also I think from the spiritual world. This is just the perfect time for you to rise and shine, and as we mentioned before, let go of what's holding you back and move into something completely new. And I think it's very beautiful that it says weightlessness, because I feel that points to that this new things coming in, it will feel very, very easy and very effortless to draw them in. Once you've decluttered and cleaned out your mind and heart and home, then those new things, I think, will come in very naturally. They will just sort of flow towards you. I think that is the feeling that you will be getting, that it will be very effortless for you to just float up into this new energy. 3 of Wands, climbing up this time, and Knight of Wands. Yeah, I think with those 2 cards, once you've managed to do that self-reflection and to do that cleanup and to apply those things that you have learned, then things will move very quickly for you. Then the path will be very clear to you. It will just open up. Those opportunities will just open up for you. And you will know when those opportunities show up, because they will feel very aligned with your passions, with your desires, with what you love and what you want to have in your life and who you want to be. So I think that is the blessing, that all of this work that you are doing is very, very supported by the universe. All those new possibilities are very, very supported by the universe. And you can just go with the flow and let yourself be carried into that new life, is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's have a look now at if there's any sort of advice or guidance from your spirit guides. Better than you can imagine. Yes, your new life will be better than you can imagine. And metamorphosis. Yeah, we spoke about that before again with the butterfly here. A really, really big transformation is coming. And I love that it's called metamorphosis here, because I feel it's not just your lifestyle that it's transforming. It's like you are leveling up. You are having a glow up. You are not only transforming, but you're going through this metamorphosis, and you will emerge as a completely new and improved version of yourself. And even here with the child in the womb, this really has been, I think, gestating, and now it is a time where it can be birthed. And it will be better than you can imagine. So beautiful. And also with the dragonfly with the colorful wings that go so well with those different colors here, I think there will be so many options for you to choose from, and you can really just explore and expand and pick and choose what you like. I think your life will feel very abundant in opportunities, abundant in joy, abundant in connections, abundant in growth, abundant in strength and vitality also. And also look at those cards. I mean, obviously those the cards in this deck are, most of them are sort of dark, but it seems as those are especially dark. And then you're moving towards this more colorful life. So I'm getting a great sense that a sense of joy and aliveness and beauty will increase and will come to you. Okay, and last but not least, let's have a look at what your energy will be in 2026. And we have the gang leader. I will prioritize myself and my own needs. Yes, so maybe this is an affirmation you want to use throughout the year. And I think this goes so well with what we talked about before, that you're connected both to yourself and to others. But also it will be important for you to make relationship choices and to set good boundaries. But you are not the Lone Ranger here, you are the gang leader. So that tells me that there will be connection to people who fit the new you well, who resonate with the new you well. And then you can be the priority, the sovereign in your own life, but not sacrificing being connected, still being connected with others, with a group of friends or a family or your chosen family, as we've spoken about before. All right, yes, I think this is a very beautiful, very powerful reading, and I am so happy for you because I think 2026 will be a grand year for you to step into a new and better life with all the beauty and joy and connectedness coming in. You might have to do a bit of work, but then things, I think, will move very, very quickly for you. And as we mentioned with the star, long-held wishes will come true. So yeah, that is all for now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, Othala, and it says devotion. And I love that it says devotion on this card, because traditionally the rune Othala stands for home and legacy and inheritance and connecting to the ancestors and to your own lineage. And so I feel with the devotion card, or with it saying devotion here, it has to do with being devoted to maybe your family, or carrying on a legacy, or just devotion to yourself and your own path could be. So yeah, those are the first things I'm getting. Well, let's find out more. Oh, and what I wanted to mention is Othala is also the last rune of the Futhak, and therefore it reminds me a bit of the world card, of things coming together and sort of a cycle being completed and then a new one started. And of course, when a new cycle starts, it doesn't have to start with square one or nothing. It can sort of build on the previous cycle and then create sort of a spiral up. And maybe that is what the devotion is about, that what you've already achieved or established, you want to sort of go deeper and move further on that path. Okay, and now we have the threshold. Very interesting. So that again, I think, is about moving into a new energy, starting something new. So maybe something has come to completion in this year of 2025 and you're ready to step into your next phase. And it's very interesting because those feet here, they look like children's feet. So maybe it's something about growing up, outgrowing your old shoes, so to speak, becoming more mature or doing more mature things, or maybe establishing a legacy of your own could be. But let's get some more cards, and this one stuck to the table, so I'm gonna take it, and it is the King of Swords. Let's get some more cards. Also very regal, the posture, of course. The Queen of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. Yeah, definitely something new coming in with the Knight of Cups. Maybe a new relationship. We will have a closer look at your relationships a bit later. But certainly something coming in, sort of an offering, maybe also a peace offering is what I'm hearing. Some opportunities will be brought to you. And it feels like you are really staying your course. You are already very aligned, and you are sort of moving further on your path, or maybe from a stable base exploring more into the world, creating even more stability, creating even more abundance, creating even more power and influence over your own life, having even more authority over your own life, expanding your life, but in a very stable and measured way, I feel, with great clarity and great determination and great devotion also. Such powerful cards, the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Really going for what you want, I feel. And knowing that you deserve it. Maybe you've worked hard for it. Okay, those are the first impressions I'm getting for the overall energies of the year, but let's have a look at your career, finances, and home. And I am getting Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave. And she is holding a sword again. Yeah, maybe you have to be brave to go after what you want. Or maybe you have to speak some uncomfortable truths to someone. Let's find out more. Let's take those two cards. Judgment and 9 of Coins. Of course, the 9 of coins can speak about luxury and financial independence and having reached a level of comfort in your financial situation or your career or your home situation. So I think you will definitely be, again, as I mentioned before, be able to reap the rewards of your hard work and to enjoy it. But with the Judgment also, I feel that maybe some adjustments have to be made. Maybe where you are now needs a close inspection. And I think that's where the bravery might come in. That maybe even though you are sort of on a straight path and maybe even in a comfortable place right now, there are things that need to be addressed. And just because things are going well doesn't mean that we shouldn't reevaluate them from time to time and make adjustments from time to time and find ways to even improve them more from time to time. And I think that's also where the devotion comes in. Be devoted to do what you do in the best way possible, with integrity, with pride, with bravery, so you can enjoy whatever you have built by knowing that you deserve it, by knowing that you have built it, that you have created it. But maybe let's have a short look at the guidebook about this card, Fairy of the Highlands. And it says, "The Fairy of the Highland speaks. See this, my sword of power? I have long feared to use it, but now I must grow strong and take it up, as you must too. The thought of wielding it, of hurting anything or anyone, makes me sad. But I know what must be done, and I must learn to fight the good fight and stand up for what I believe in. Although I've been told I must not be aggressive, in fact, I must now take up my arms against this trouble and finish it for good. I am going into a battle, and for that I feel sorrow. But I will be fearless and strong and do what needs to be done. I may bathe my sword in tears, but I will no longer hold it back when the threat that approaches relies on my fear for its victory. I will no longer give away my power so easily. This time I will take back what is mine." Yeah, very interesting. So maybe it's about protecting yourself, protecting your own path. Maybe being on that path has drawn in some envy or critique or ill wishes from other people. And maybe now it is time to protect yourself against those. Or maybe, again, I'm getting this image that something wasn't done with complete integrity on your part, and I'm not want to be mean or offensive, so I'm sorry for questioning your integrity, but I'm getting the sense that maybe looking at things closely and really making choices that align with who you are and who you want to be. And if there's something that feels a bit wonky or just like it doesn't fit your vibe, maybe make adjustments. Reevaluate and make adjustments. Don't judge yourself too harshly and don't judge others, but still use discernment to make good choices. But I do feel the overall energy is that this will be a very prosperous and successful year for you if you manage to stay the course with integrity and maybe making some adjustments. Okay, let's next have a look at your personal and spiritual growth. And I saw this card. Autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope. Yeah, that card seems a bit bleak, let's say. And you're being asked to not lose hope, to have faith in yourself, to have faith in your path. And we have the Knight of Coins. Again, I'm feeling that some readjustments have to be made. And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, something is a bit fishy, let's call it, with the Seven of Swords. So maybe either other people have been trying to sabotage you, or you have been self-sabotaging, or you haven't been completely honest with yourself, or maybe other people haven't been honest with you, but something is going on and you need to figure out what that is. And with the adjustments with the Knight of Coins, I am getting to sort of maybe slowly turn things around. I don't think those changes will come overnight. I think you have to sort of slowly work on readjusting your course, readjusting your path, your direction. Yeah, and again with this card, I'm also getting a sense that there's some emotional pain you're carrying around with you, or maybe some sense of guilt or failure. Maybe you somehow feel that you don't deserve the good things in your life. And if that is the case, then maybe take a closer look at why that is, that you feel that you don't deserve those things. Because I do feel that you've put in a lot of work. You've made good decisions in alignment with yourself and what you want and who you want to be. And you have been able to reach a certain level of success, and you will be able to build on that and improve that even more. But somehow I feel there's some emotions that are blocking you still. Some negative emotions. Maybe you don't trust yourself, or maybe you don't trust your good luck. Maybe something seems to be too good to be true. And could be that other people are deceiving you, or you're deceiving yourself. Or maybe you're just worrying for nothing. I can't answer that. You will have to do some reflection and find out what it is. But this, to me, whatever that is, it almost feels like a leak of energy, where your energy is sort of leaking out and draining out. And just, yeah, I'm getting a strong sense of being sort of lost and forlorn and hopeless. Okay, I think let's maybe come back to that later and find out how you could work on that. But let's have a look first at what will be coming in relationships in 2026. And we have Adrift. Letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Interesting. So maybe this has to do with your relationships as well, because I'm getting a very similar energy, because here it says adrift, so also a sense of being lost a little bit. But let's get some more cards. 3 fell out, and we have Justice. Yeah, that goes so well with a judgment, I think. Some adjustments have to be made, and you have to find out what it is that gives you a sense that you are not deserving of what you have, if that is a feeling that you have. But this message to me is very, very clear, and it goes all very well together. So if you don't have those feelings I described, maybe this is not your group right now, or maybe or it could be your group, but something is still hidden with the 7 of Swords and the Adrift. Okay, we have the Lovers and the 9 of Wands. Okay. So with the Lovers, of course, new love could be coming in, or maybe you are learning more about self-love, self-acceptance, and maybe also aligning with your spirit guides more. Because here it says, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Maybe you need help from your spirit guides, or from God or Goddess or the universe, or whatever you believe in. And maybe it is time to connect to those higher realms more, or make more space for your spiritual and personal growth. Because this area of your life definitely seems to be a bit confused and lacking in clarity, even though overall I think you have great clarity about who you are and where you want to go. But yeah, with the Lovers card, I think a new love is definitely in the cards for you in 2026. And with the 9 of Wands, especially with this image, it looks a bit scary, doesn't it? Yeah, something has to come to an end. Something has to be cleansed and purified. And maybe you have the sense that something dark is stalking you, or the past is stalking you, or past relationship maybe. Or maybe like negative energies coming in from others. And if that's the case, then now is really the time to seek guidance on how to protect yourself from those negative energies coming in. But your efforts with the Justice card will be rewarded, is what I'm seeing. So if you have been trying to find a new love, find a new relationship, maybe find better connections even in your work relationships, I think all of that is in the cards for you as well. And also, of course, with 2 major arcana cards here, I think a lot of changes coming to you in 2026 in terms of relationships, either with yourself or other people, and either with your family or your friends, or maybe a lover or a spouse, or even work relationships, as I mentioned before. But again, even in that area, it needs a bit of making good choices and gaining clarity, and even protecting yourself. Okay. And now let's have a look at what the greatest blessings are that are coming in. And I'm seeing those 2 cards. Transparency, yes, I think that's what you really need. It says honest, authentic, genuine, present. Yeah. We talked about that before. I called it integrity, but I think this card points at similar themes. Really, really gain clarity about what is going on, and be honest with yourself and others, and also demand transparency and honesty from others. Because I think you really need that to heal and to get on your path again, and to be comfortable again with who you are, and to be able to trust yourself again. And maybe other people also have been manipulating you in losing trust in yourself and in losing hope. And with the word present here, I feel maybe a mindfulness practice might be beneficial for you, or any sort of reflecting or journaling, or becoming more aware of where you are and where you want to go, and what those difficult energies might be. And then we have Song of the Siren, the call, summoning voice to acknowledge. Yeah, maybe you've heard the call to do something specific. And maybe now it's time to be brave enough to step into that energy. And also from this card, I'm getting a very beautiful, seductive, sensual energy, and maybe it's time to tap more into those energies within yourself. Maybe that is something that you have lost, or you felt you couldn't express, or you've been repressing, and that's why you didn't have the relationships you wanted. Because you couldn't be authentic in your beauty, authentic in your voice, authentic in your allure, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, because I think you're a very beautiful, sensual, alluring, magnetic, radiant person. But maybe that is something that you've been repressing. Maybe you've been told that it's not okay to be that way, or maybe you're scared that people will criticize you because of it, or maybe you're scared that you will be vulnerable when you show yourself, that you will be exposed in some sort of way. It's also a very soft energy, so maybe something had made you feel that you need to be sort of hard and fighting all the time, and maybe that also has caused a conflict with this. You don't want to be aggressive, but then you have to defend yourself, but you also don't want to be soft because you're scared of it. So something around those things. Also could be that for some of you there might be some confusion about in which ways you are allowed to express your gender, because of course this fighting, brave, courageous, determined energy is often sort of seen as male, and this more sensual, soft, radiant energy is often seen more as female. And maybe you have both of those energies, or you have more of one energy and less of another, and maybe you feel like you have to be a certain way that would be acceptable to express your gender. That could be for some of you, and that's just an example. Maybe it's something else, but I feel that somehow your self-expression has been blocked by either negative influences from other people or your own beliefs about yourself and your own beliefs about what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And of course, you're allowed to do anything you choose for yourself if you're not harming other people with it. So return to this devotion and clarity, and dare to take the next step on your journey. But let's get some more cards about those blessings that are coming in. One fell to the floor. And it is the King of Cups. Yeah, very powerful here, the dragon. And the 7 of Coins. Yeah, you've been working so hard. You really deserve to harvest now with the 7 of Coins. And also it's interesting because the coins, of course, are the symbol for the element of earth that has to do with stability, but also there's a huge fire here on this card. So this to me speaks of following your inner fire, following your passion, or even allowing that inner fire to burn even brighter and to illuminate your path for you, is what I'm hearing. And with the dragon, also very powerful energies. And of course, dragons are known to be very fierce, but also very loving creatures. So I feel there's more about bringing those two energies together and allowing yourself to express them both. The courage and sort of confronting the things that you don't want, and confronting others, and setting clear boundaries and defending yourself, but also this softness, this receptive energy, this magnetic energy. And I must say, with this section, I feel a great sense of relief coming in, because a lot of those cards, especially those 3 cards, seem to be a bit dark and difficult. But I think 2026 will bring up very good opportunities to be more yourself. Be more yourself is what I'm hearing. Allow yourself to have a voice. Live your life from a place of authenticity, honesty, transparency, integrity, and be devoted to that path. Be devoted to yourself. Be devoted to creating your own path, your own legacy in this world, is what I'm hearing. And then you will be able to shift things around for you and to draw in the things that you want, like love and abundance. But let's have a look at what might be some more advice from your spirit guides. No expectations with the key and the Black Panther. And nourishment while waiting. Yeah, those 2 cards make total sense to me. Here was the nourishment, and it's very interesting because those colors are very similar, aren't they? And there's a baby bird on this card, so yeah, I think it's time to nourish yourself, to be a bit more gentle to yourself, to trust yourself again, or to learn to trust yourself again, to trust your emotions, to trust your body, to trust your own inner fire, to trust your heart. And maybe you, with this card in combination with this card I'm getting, maybe you've been in a period where your health or your mental health hasn't been great. However, maybe you pushed through and tried to do life as usual. And if that's a case, maybe it's time to dial it a bit back and to be honest about it and brave enough to say, okay, I have to make some more time for self-care, for nourishment, and I can't push on as usual. And maybe that's what you need to be brave about. Not even confronting others, but just voicing your own needs at the moment and your own boundaries at the moment. And maybe your own vulnerabilities. I mean, that takes a lot of courage, right? Accepting and expressing that we might need help, or we might need to take a break. And maybe we are not as strong on the surface level as we thought we were. Maybe that is why you have to change your path a little bit. Maybe you have to make some adjustments to your health or your mental health, or to difficult things that need addressing. And you need to make more space for them, more space for self-care. And maybe you can put less energy into building your career. And that's okay. That's okay. But maybe you have to admit it to yourself and others. Because I'm still seeing that you will be comfortable and successful and abundant. But I'm also seeing that you have to make adjustments. And of course, I'm not telling you what to do or which adjustments to make, but I'm encouraging you to take the time to really think about it and consider what would be nourishing to you right now. What would this little baby bird need right now? And how can you express that? And also with this card, this seems so powerful, right? So having no expectations is the key here. And that also ties into what I just said. Maybe don't be so hard on yourself. Don't have such high expectations for yourself. Maybe tap more into an energy of playfulness and exploring and doing things because you love doing them and not because you want to fulfill your own expectation or someone else's expectations. And it even doesn't say lower your expectation, it says no expectations. So I think if you dare, it would be a very good move for you to just tap into radical self-acceptance and radical self-love and radical acceptance of the things that are in your life. And by acceptance, I don't mean saying yes to everything and having no opinion and setting no boundaries. I mean just being with the truth of what is, and that will unlock the door for you. Because this is a very powerful card, and I think for you, the way to tap into your power in 2026 is by allowing yourself to be vulnerable, by allowing yourself to not know, by allowing yourself to be maybe a bit lost or adrift. And then from there, from letting it fall apart, then from there putting it back together with the help and guidance of your spirit's guides, with the help and guidance of your own inner fire and your own voice. So yeah, and overall this reading, it started a bit, I don't know, difficult and sad maybe, but now with those cards, this section and those two cards, I'm getting that you will be able to turn your life around and step into very powerful energies, but also at the same time soft and vulnerable energies, and all together again very authentic energies where you neglect neither part of yourself, no part of yourself, where you can bring all your facets together into one and become even stronger from it. Okay, last but not least, let's get a card to see what your energies will be in 2026. And then I'm seeing this card, the Outlaw. I will turn and face the consequences. Yes, facing things, facing the reality of how things are. Not trying to suppress parts of yourself, not trying to hide parts of yourself, not trying to convince yourself of things that aren't true or convince other people of things that aren't true. Be brave and face the challenges. Because you have the ability to do that. You are quite powerful. And I think until you tap into your authenticity, you also won't be able to tap into your real power. Because I feel that you're much more powerful than you think that you are. But it needs honesty with yourself and with others. It needs facing the truth and maybe the consequences of your choices that you have made in the past. And maybe it feels like you've been on this path for a very long time, so it feels difficult or impossible to change, and it's not. It is absolutely not. You can just turn around by making the choice to turn around. And maybe you have to take baby steps at first, but you will get there. You will definitely get there. Okay, yeah, that sounds like your year 2026 might be off to a bit of a difficult start, but it has the potential to be very, very powerful and really carry you far and allow you to make great strides and become abundant and connected and loved and to find your voice again. So yeah, that is all for now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Perthro, and it reads Mystery. So that is a very interesting card for your year 2026. It seems like it starts with a bit of a mystery, or maybe something that has been hidden before will be revealed to you. Obviously, with the upside down image of this card, it also reminds me of the Hanged Man. Maybe you needed to take a bit of a pause to gain a new perspective, and maybe things will become more clear to you now in the new year. And we have the Shaman. Very interesting, yeah. So with that, I am getting that the year of 2026 will be some sort of maybe initiation for you, or some sort of tapping into the mysteries of life more, or connecting to the spiritual world, to the mysteries more. And also probably tapping into your intuition, tapping into your inner knowledge. Those are the first things that I'm getting for the overall energies of the year. But let's get some tarot cards. One flew to the floor. And it is the Hermit. So more about spiritual seeking. The Sun, enlightenment, I'm hearing. And of course and I think I'm also taking this card, the Six of Swords, and of course the enlightenment, it doesn't have to be a literal enlightenment, but I think something is being illuminated for you. Something is maybe coming to the surface. Some sort of insight with those two cards. Seeing things in a new perspective. And also a chance for you to move on from things in the past that don't suit you anymore. So yeah, that's a very good start. I think the new year will definitely give you a sense of growing more into who you are meant to be, is what I'm hearing. Okay, but let's have a look first at your career, finances, and home in 2026. And we have Dress of Alchemy, release your power, with 33 and a 3-headed bird in that flask there, and all those eyes. So more about realizations, seeing things in a new light, understanding things deeper. And also the halo in the background here, it almost looks like the image of the sun again. So a lot of synchronicities, I think, in the new year, and things really coming together and making more sense. A pattern emerging, a pattern for you to recognize that is emerging. And that pattern emerging, maybe it will help you improve your career or finances or home, or maybe even gain clarity about what you want in that area. And of course, the number 33, it's sometimes called a master number. So you've mastered a certain skill, and you are aligned with your higher self. And of course, the alchemy also talks about bringing different things together and putting them together in a new way, combining them in a new way, so something new will emerge. So they will transmute into something else. And I think that is what you're doing. Yeah, quite powerful, really. And the overall sense here really is that this is going to be a very spiritual year for you, a year of spiritual seeking. And of course, we will have a closer look on your spiritual path and your personal growth soon, but I'm already getting that might be a major theme in this year. And we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Coins. So more about empowerment, tapping into your emotions to help you progress in your career, tapping into your power of emergence and manifestation and drawing in things through magnetism, through alchemy, through transforming and transmuting them. So I feel that maybe your career path or your path to improve your finances at home will be looking in a place that is maybe a bit unexpected or doing something that no one else is doing. Because for a lot of people, I don't think their own emotions seem to be a very useful tool in their career, or even I'm getting like taking things that are really not very worth a lot and transforming them into gold with this alchemical path. Maybe making a career out of your own story, telling your own story could be for some of you. Or coming up with a new way to use things that don't seem to be worth much and transforming them so they become gold. I'm hearing again. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Because I feel there's a great shift coming for you, but it's not a great shift on the outside. So it's not like, I feel for most of you, moving house or finding a new job or starting a new career. It's sort of staying where you are, but somehow shifting slightly in a way that will make you feel more powerful, and that will make you feel more successful. Okay, let's have a look next at your personal and spiritual growth. And we are getting 3 cards. Yeah, that's funny because I said that's probably a big theme for you. And I meant to get 1 card and 3 cards came out. So yeah, it probably is a big theme for you. We have the Eclipse Mermaid with a powerful energy shift. Oh, wow, that's almost the exact words I used before, wasn't it? Then we have 3 witchy sisters, the power of 3. Wow, so many synchronicities, because we already talked about the 33 and the 3-headed bird. So that's a confirmation that magical things, alchemical things are at work here. Very fascinating. And then we have the sewer mermaid. Your sensuality is beautiful. And that's also interesting because, of course, a sewer doesn't sound like something that's very beautiful, but somehow you transform it into something that is beautiful. So that goes also very well with the themes that we've already talked about. I'm really blown away by all the synchronicities here, but let's also get some tarot cards for those themes. And we have King of Swords. Yeah, it will become very clear to you. And 4 of Wands. Yeah, things are coming together. You are being aligned with your perfect match, your perfect house, your perfect career, your perfect path. And you will be able to celebrate it. Things coming together, things falling into place, you transforming and transmuting things into something beautiful. And you already have everything you need. You just have to maybe combine it in a different new way with clarity and discernment. And really understanding that most energies are really neutral and they can be viewed from a positive or negative perspective. And it's up to you to find the positive about them. Even with the eclipse, the sun is temporarily blocked and dark, but after that the light is coming back. So if there has been a pause or a delay, it has been for a reason, so you can emerge even more powerful. Again, was what I talked about was the Hanged Man, that can also stand for a pause or delay because you want to change your perspective, because you need to contemplate something and realize and understand something, and with the Hermit as well, with the Sun. This is crazy. Those cards all fit so well together, and they all seem to speak of the same thing. So that's really a really strong and powerful theme for you. And I think right now it's a bit of a mystery to you how this will all unfold, or how you are supposed to go about it. But I think it will step by step become clear. Once you've taken the first step, I'm hearing the next step will become clear to you. And even with the 3 witchy sisters here, 2 of them have their eyes closed. So really focus on your intuition, on what's inside you, and then opening your eyes and seeing how it fits into the world. Okay. Next, let's have a look about what your relationships will be like in 2026. And I see this card sticking out. Song of the Siren, the call summoning voice to acknowledge. Yeah, I think your relationship will also massively transform in the year of 2026. This goes so well with the year sensuality is beautiful. I think you're stepping more into that siren energy, that energy of attracting, of transmuting, of embracing something unique, and really emphasizing the positive aspects, the beauty of it, of yourself also. Could be a glow up coming for you, or just you stepping more into your confidence, stepping more into what's traditionally considered your feminine side, which means being receptive, being magnetic, attracting the things that you want towards you, being the siren, being sensual, but also using your voice again. And we already talked about this in your career part of the reading, that telling your own story, being aware of your own emotion might help you to progress on your path. Okay, but let's get some more tarot cards to see what else is new in your relationships. The Emperor and the Ace of Swords. And with the Emperor, of course, in this deck, the Emperor is King Arthur, and he is destined to pull out the sword out of the stone. So I think something that is destined, or that feel like it is fate, will come towards you. Maybe a new partner, maybe a very powerful partner. Could be a partner in your personal life or love life, but also could be a business partner. Or maybe it is you stepping into that role of the Emperor, where you feel that you reign over your own realm. And it's very interesting because we have this very traditionally considered feminine energy of the Queen of Cups. So this watery emotional energy, this healing energy, this energy of softness. And of course, this Queen of Cups also is a mermaid. So also a sense of sensuality and going with the flow. And then this card, the Emperor, that is someone who has a lot of authority, someone who is in control, someone who is determined, and is traditionally considered more of a male energy that's in your relationship area. So that to me also speaks of this alchemy where you combine different elements. So in your relationships, where sometimes it's, especially if it's like friendships or love relationships, where it's considered to be matters of the heart and of the emotions, maybe you are being asked to bring in more of a sort of opposing energy of being very decisive and very determined and very clear. And if you must be, also draw very clear boundaries and take the lead. And then in your career path, bring in more of that softness and going with the flow and using your intuition instead of your mind. And with that sword cutting through the, I don't know what it's called in English, but this knot, this impossible to solve knot, and the only way you can solve that riddle of that knot is by cutting through it, right? So cutting yourself free from bounds, maybe cutting yourself free from relationship patterns that weren't very helpful. Yeah, I feel that maybe before in relationships, you were looking to your partner or to your friend or to your business partner to take the lead or to make decisions about the direction of the relationship, but now you are stepping into that role. Now you are being the leader, now you are being the authority. And you're using great clarity and discernment, while at the same time embodying all those sensual, beautiful, soft energies. Okay, very beautiful. But let's have a look at what are the greatest blessings for you coming in this next year. Yeah, I think this card. Divination, prophecy, fate, destiny, future, fortune. Okay, let's maybe get one more. I'm very undecided which card to take. That's interesting. Because as you know, or as you might know if you've watched any other of my videos, I often get energies and informations through my own body and through my own emotions. So I think this again is about this. Something is still hidden. Something is still a bit unclear. Something will only reveal itself later. And we have motherhood, protection, inner child, nurture. So those are the blessings that are coming in. And of course, you don't have to take this motherhood card quite literally. I mean, maybe for some of you, you're becoming a parent in 2026. But if that's not something that you're interested in, see it more as those other themes, protection, inner child, and nurture. So I think you either will have the ability to nurture yourself and spend more time on self-care and spend more time on making your life beautiful and making yourself beautiful, even with the glow up we spoke about before. But also maybe someone else is coming in who will help you with that, who will make you feel protected, who will make you feel nurtured. Or maybe you are nurturing your inner child also, or nurturing those parts of you that need a bit more nurturing. And that would also, of course, go well with those themes we talked about before, the bringing different elements together. Nurturing those things that maybe you have neglected a bit. Not leaving anything behind, not leaving any part of yourself behind, bringing it all in and bringing it all together. And allowing yourself to step into your power and to integrate all those different parts of you. And what stands out to me in this card is a future fortune. So maybe this path that you are taking in the upcoming years a bit indirect, even with those things that we talked about before. Maybe it's more about making those inner shifts and adjustments and learning those energies and learning how you are as an alchemist and as a siren. And that way preparing the ground for great fortune in the future. And trusting that that is what you're doing. Trusting that you are on the right path. And with the power of the 3, I'm also getting maybe it will take 3 years for that to unfold completely, because 3 times 3 is 9 and we have the 3 here, so a lot of 3s. And the number 3 or symbol for the number 3 is a triangle. So I think it will be sort of, again, bringing things together, creating a stable base and then taking the next step, and then creating a stable base again and then taking the step. And I don't think you have to wait 3 years for any results to come in, but I think the whole process you are in right now might take 3 years. Building that new life for yourself might take 3 years, or learning how to be the shaman, how to be the healer, how to be the alchemist, maybe that takes 3 years. And I feel that the first part of the 3 years is your own personal growth, your own emotional journey, your own spiritual journey. And I'm hearing that taking 1 year to do that is really time invested well, because it will make everything else so much easier after that. So if you're trying to build a career or build a life or have a relationship or become a parent, maybe that seems to be a bit delayed, but you're preparing for it now. And for some of you it will unfold maybe after 3 months, but for some of you it might take up to 3 years to completely unfold, to come to completion. But let's get some more cards to see what the blessings are coming in for you. The Star, yes, wishes are being granted, and the Knight of Coins. Also, the progress you're making is very stable progress, and no one will be able to take it away from you. So whichever steps you're taking now, whichever progress you're making now, it will stay with you forever, is what I'm hearing. Very, very powerful. And you're being very aligned with your spiritual path, with your power, with your higher self. This is so powerful. I'm really excited for you. I think it will be a very interesting and powerful year of adventures and journeys and inner journeys and learning. I love learning. So for me, this is a good sign. Okay, let's see. Claim your power. Yes, exactly. And I also see this card. Magnetism through gratitude. Yeah, we talked about magnetism before, or manifesting through magnetism. And of course, thank you for reminding me, the cards, that gratitude is a really strong magnet. And you could do a simple gratitude practice where at the end of each day you write down 10 things you're grateful for, and it can be small things or big things. It could just be like something simple like I had a good breakfast, or a friend sent me a nice text or something. But it also could be something where you're grateful to yourself, like for example, I made a commitment to follow this spiritual path, or I made a commitment to do this gratitude practice, things like that. And there's really no right or wrong. Just write down 10 things you're grateful for every day, and I think you will see a bit of change in your life. And let me point this out to you. There's the 3 again. 3 cups with 3 hearts. Very beautiful. Claim your power. Yes, this card really speaks for itself, doesn't it? Claim your alchemical power. Claim your healing power. Claim your siren power. Don't hold back is what I'm hearing. Now is the time to go all in. Because if you do, a powerful shift is coming for you. A powerful shift. And here it also says release your power. Yes. Okay, let's get one more card to see what your personal energy will be like in 2026. And we have the Bartender. I will give others support and listen with empathy. Very beautiful. Of course, you could use this affirmation if you want to throughout the year. And what I find interesting about this card, as I mentioned with the Queen of Cups before, sometimes it's not very obvious how your own emotions might help you on your career path. However, of course, if you are a bartender, or maybe you are a psychologist or do some kind of coaching, or maybe it's not even in your job, maybe it's in your personal life. If you can give to others, trust that that energy will flow back to you. Support others, listen with empathy to others. And also, sometimes if we do judge people too quickly, sometimes we can miss some important information they might have for us if we dismiss them too quickly and think like, oh, they don't know much, or they don't, I don't know, have a lot to give, maybe have a lot to offer. Be careful of that. Be really, really careful of that, and be open to the things that present themselves. Because as I mentioned before, every energy has two sides or can be used in different ways, and there's always, I think, an angle to discover how to use energies. And I'm not talking about using people, of course. Kindness is its own reward, I think, but opportunities that those people might bring with them, you will discover them once you listen very closely and with empathy. And of course, there's this saying, is it what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around? Anyway, it's like whatever we will put out will come back to us. And that's, of course, also the energy of the magnetism, right? The energy of the siren. Just radiate this energy out, and then it will draw in the things that are aligned with your energy. Okay, yes, I'm very excited for you. I think you have a very powerful and very rewarding year ahead of you, and you will get so many opportunities to step into your power, to claim your power and become that person that you want to be, whether that's the shaman or the siren or the alchemist or anything else. Maybe the witch with the witchy sisters here. I don't know, maybe the emperor in a way, the leader in a way. You can, it really feels like you can, this year you can have it all. You can claim it all. You can sort of step into your wildest dreams and make them come true for you. So yeah, I'm very excited for you. So this is all for now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time.